Hey, what's up everybody? This is Jeremy from Octane TV. I want to welcome you guys to the show today. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today on this episode, we're going to be going over how we go down to Hypercars in Southern Indiana, which is right next to Louisville. We're going to be going there and trading in our Camaro LT1 that was completely customized with our matte dynamic lime, wheels, the whole 9 yards. We're going to be trading that in today and getting us a new vehicle today. We went and looked at probably 15 different other cars, but today in this episode, we're going to be showing you the new car that we actually leave today with. Stay tuned. Hey, what's up everybody? So today on this episode, we're going to be going over the new vehicle that we go and trade our Camaro in on. So we had a 2021 Camaro LT1 fully customized with matte dynamic lime wrap. We had wheels. We actually had a set of Velgen 20-inch wheels. We also had a set of VMS racing wheels on it. We had it lowered. We had an exhaust. We had tail lights, front bumper, we had carbon interior. We had a lot of work done to this car. The only thing that we did not modify on this car was the engine, only because it was a 2021. When I bought it, it was brand new. It did have a warranty on it. I did not want to modify anything and ruin the warranty on the car. So that is the only thing that we did not do, is modify the actual engine. So this car was pretty decently fast for what it was. It was an LT1, I had an exhaust on it. That was it. The only thing that we did was that. Rated there about 460, 470 crank horsepower, but it did pretty good. It kept up with a lot of decent cars. But our major concern was, if anybody knows anything about the Camaro LT1 cars, the motors are very, very fragile when it comes to piston rings and things like that. We did not want to fry this car once we started modding it. I knew the potential was probably around 650 to 700 wheel. I knew that was the potential and that was the maximum limit of what we were going to get out of this car. So at that point, I called up Hypercars down in Southern Indiana and said, hey, I'd like to look at a couple of cars. We did. We went and looked at a BMW M3 F80. I looked at an M2. I looked at a lot of different cars, and the price ranges, what my bank would finance, they just were not feeling it, to be honest. They were like, no, that's just way too much out of your price range. It's way too much what they're asking. I even looked at a Supra. I looked at a lot of different cars, to be honest with you, and I really came to the conclusion, and so did they. We came with a plan of, we need to go with something that the bank will like. So I looked at a 2020 Grabber Lime Green Mustang. The car had been modded already, so that was pretty cool. It was a full bolt-on intake, headers, full exhaust. It was an E85 tune on the car. Had full suspension from Bilstein on the car. The only downside to the car was it was a 2020 Grabber Lime, very rare, and it only had 2,000 miles on it. So my question was, what was the catch? What happened in 2,000 miles? They put all this money into it. They put taillights, they put a spoiler, they put all the engine modifications, full suspension on the car, everything. I mean, it had full Bilstein, everything, springs, struts. It actually had all basically stop hop kit. It had every single suspension component. They even put a full drive shaft in this car. There's a lot of money put into this car. Why would you get rid of it after 2,000 miles? I think what ended up happening, just to be honest with everybody, is this car was probably repossessed. I think they put a bunch of money into it. I think it came down from South Carolina. When I drove the car, he warned me that the suspension was extremely stiff. When I drove it, it felt like my teeth were about to come out of my mouth, and it rode really bad and had rust over the top of the struts, right where the bars were, the metal part were. And I knew that that was the first thing I was going to have to change, was the suspension. And I told him that. I was like, there's no way I could drive this car with the suspension. It rides terrible. The front would just bang on the ground. Also, the kicker was it had like stock V6 wheels on it. Whoever had it must have taken the wheels off before it got repossessed or traded in. I'm not quite sure, but the car did, I believe, go to an auction before Hypercars got it, which makes me believe that the car was repossessed. The car did not run the greatest. It ran good. I mean, it was decent. It was way faster than the Camaro with the bolt-ons and E85, but in my opinion, it did not run optimal for what it should have. It should have been way faster, in my opinion. But I test drove the car. I loved it. It was an awesome car. I will say there's a lot of differences between a Camaro and a Mustang, but they are very similar cars. So I wasn't feeling like I was going to be downgrading. I felt like going to a Mustang and have the potential of a stock motor and stock trans to be able to run 1,000 horsepower. That's where I was wanting to go. The car was a 10-speed car, but it was a base model. It was a base model grabber lime green car. So it had the calculator radio. It had the cloth seats in it. I mean, but it was like new. It only had 2,000 miles on it. I mean, the car was like in great condition, zero problems with the paint, anything like that. It was just the suspension components, the aftermarket stuff that they had put on there. I knew it was going to be a problem. I did not like the taillights. The taillights were super ugly. The wheels were ugly and the suspension was bad. Everything they had done aftermarket, I knew I was going to completely rip out and change, minus maybe like the headers, the full bolt-on parts. So I'm excited to say that we got everything to go through with the financing, with the credit union. Everything went through, and actually Hypercars straight up traded me cars, which was amazing. Like, I did not think that was what was going to end up happening, because my car was a 21 with 17,000 miles. This was a 2020 with 2,000 miles. So I was like, 2,000 miles, 17,000 miles. My car was newer, but it was an LT1. This was a base. I mean, it's kind of weird how it all worked out, but basically I traded straight up for the car. So I'm going to show you guys some pictures and videos of this car. It is definitely not the prettiest car when you see it. When I bought it, it was, you know, I knew the potential of what this car could be, but here's some pictures of the car and some videos of the car when I bought it with the ugly wheels on it and kind of how I took it home. I knew the first thing I was going to do was change the suspension output wheels on the car. I knew that was the, I mean, I couldn't even make it a day and I was going to be putting wheels and suspension on this car. So I looked at it as, I got a good APR, I got a good car, I got a good car for the money in the trade, and I knew I could make a potential 1,000 horsepower. So that's why I did this deal. So in the next few episodes, a lot of episodes, we're going to be going over every single thing that we're doing to this car. And it's a lot of modifications and a lot of things that we do to this car. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode here, but there's going to be a lot more of what is going to happen with this car. I just want to kind of explain what happened to our Camaro and how we got from the Camaro to the Mustang, because this is in the past. And if you guys don't know, we're a few years behind on the cars that I've owned on this channel. So please understand, we're going to get caught up very quickly. And we want to explain the story so that everybody can understand, because people are not remembering the cars that I bought, because I was changing cars every 6 months. I think I had 4 Mustangs in 1 year. So this is the best Mustang I ever owned, was the Grabber Lime 10-speed, and I wish I would have bought a 10-speed a long time ago. I wouldn't have had to made all these mistakes, but this car is awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we're going to have a lot more future modifications on this car. So in the next episode, we're going to go to Detroit, Michigan. We're going to pick up a set of PP1 wheels and we're going to go on a rally. So we needed these wheels within 3 days to go on a rally to Kentucky. So we're going to go to Detroit, Michigan, pick up a set of PP1 wheels. We got them for cheap. I think like $650, and we'll show you that in the next episode. Thank you guys.